The end of the Eras Tour, 2 years, $2 billion. But most importantly, the news that came out today, which is why she is one of one, is giving out over 175 million or whatever the final number was of additional bonuses to her crew. Of course, she made headlines when she donates food at the local food banks. It's just, she continues to impress me. Just when you think she can't get more impressive in who she is as a, performer, but also as a person.
Hey guys, welcome to the official YouTube page for Calm Down with Erin and Charissa. This is where you can watch all of our ridiculous conversations and fun interviews.
We have full shows. We've got pre-games, anything and everything that you guys could want. But first, you're going to have to subscribe. Just hit subscribe right there and you're good to go.
And now you can calm down with us.
Yep. Can you tell that we're reading this off a script? We hope so. All right. We need to calm down and wrap this bad boy up. Press subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
Welcome everybody to the Calm Down podcast. Oh, are you okay?
I'm making notes.
She's making notes. We're making
week
notes,
15,
people.
I just wrote down.
It is
3 weeks
start
left
of week 15 when I do my Thursday night.
Wow.
San Francisco 49ers versus Los Angeles Rams. A battle in the NFC West. But let's go back for a second. We both had incredible week 14 matchups. I was in Detroit for the Packers-Lions. You were working Rams-Bills yesterday. Go.
Your game seems like it was 2 years ago.
Exactly. That's why I want to touch on your game just because it happened yesterday. Incredible. For thinking about what Josh Allen did in a losing effort.
I know.
But I was so happy for you guys getting a game like that because I feel like you guys have had blowouts.
Blowout city, sister. Yeah, terrible. It was great. I love working games like that. Sorry, I almost had to burp. I love working games like that, but I also, it's not like you're sitting back at home going, holy shit. Like you're sitting there on the sidelines. Who's hurt? Who's okay? Oh my God, am I doing a post-game interview? What am I asking? Where are they on third down? So it's like you are a lot of different places with all that. It was amazing.
But yeah, back and forth game and good for the Rams. I mean, this is obviously the Bills have been having a great year, but I was excited for, selfishly, this is totally selfish actually, watching games where both teams win going into your matchup because then the week is easier. Because you're like, they're in a better mood. They're not disgruntled. So both the Niners and the Rams winning yesterday
Very true.
Sets up a great matchup. And then this division, obviously being as close as it is, coming down to the wire, the fact that it is going to be week 15. It'll come down to Seattle and the Rams, depending, of course, on that last game of the year for that division. But anyways, yeah, excited about that one. What else do we have? I had that Lions-Packers game was so awesome. It lived up to all of the hype, of course, going into that game. You forget, and just from the outside looking in, if you don't follow football closely, like that wasn't a battle for the division. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings are in the middle of Lions, Vikings, and then the Packers. But just the winning, I think the overall winning percentage of that division is like 800 or something. It's like never in history has a division been so good. But yeah, that game was awesome. So much was made. We were standing on the sideline at the very end of the game. Of course, it was tied 31-31 with a minute and a half left to play. And it comes down to this 4th and inches play. Dan Campbell decides to go for it. Up until that point, he was 3 for 4 on calling and going for it on 4th down and converting. So Fitz and I are standing next to each other, and he's like, they kicked the field goal again. There's no reason to go for it. And then all of a sudden you see Jared Goff grab the football and come back out, and you're like, wait, he's going for it? So I love it. And then the next day, all of these people, so I'm going to go on a rant for a second about this, because what I think is so wild is you're not on that team. You're not in that locker room. You're not in those team meetings. So if Dan Campbell wants to go for it, and as Jared Goff told us at the end of the game, Dan Campbell was kind of vacillating, like, should I go for it? Should I not go for it? And then he decides to go for it. And Jared Goff is like, let's fucking go, kind of a thing. Like, this is our team. This is who we are. Like, we're all in one way or the other. But all of these, like, individuals that I hear the next day on all these different shows, like, this is so risky. This is whatever. Who cares? That's his decision. That's his team. And guess what? Like, if he wants, he's made those calls in the past and they've bit him in the ass. If that's who this guy is, if that's who this team is, then cool. I just don't understand why everyone has to have an opinion on every little thing. And it's like, well, he should do it this way. It's like, well, guess what? If Dan Campbell wants to paint his house fucking purple, then he can paint his house purple and deal with the neighbors later. Like, that's his decision to go for it. And his team is all for him. And if I'm in that locker room, I am riding with somebody like that. Like, we die together, we win together, whatever it is that we're going to do. So I just found it so annoying that everyone thinks that they get to have opinions on situations that they're not a part of. So, and then same thing with the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs are now 10-0 in one-score games. They win last night with the doink field goal. And it's like, oh, well, the Chiefs, they can't keep winning like this. Guess what?
Why can't they?
Like, last year, everyone's like, they can't go on the road and win all these playoff games without home field advantage. Guess what? They did. It's just, I am like, last time I checked, the winner of the Super Bowl from 1965, did you keep track of how many games they won by one score? How many points? Did they go for it on fourth down? No. You keep track of wins. In the words of Al Davis, just win, baby. So, like, if you keep winning, who cares how you do it? So for like both of those teams, like, I'm so over watching shows where everyone wants to critique like this shit. I'm like, they win and who cares?
Yeah.
Rant over.
No, I think they're trying to fill time and commercial space and all that. Yeah, it's a lot. Why? I don't know. People are paid to debate it, and that's what they do, and that's what they sign up for. But it's pretty amazing to watch. I was at kind of a Christmas fireworks event last night, which was fun, and they had the game on, and people were like, "I'm so sick of this. And I was like, "Why? This is awesome."
Of the Chiefs?
Why? Because Patrick Mahomes is fucking cool, and like they win, and they win different ways. It's fun. The NFL is fun.
Totally.
I love it.
The same thing happened with the Patriots when they would win. Like, so, and like, I'm so sick of the Patriots winning, or like the Lakers in their prime, or the Celtics in their prime. Like, oh, I'm so sick of it. I'm like, hey, guess what? Then somebody else be better. How about that? Like, somebody else be better. You want to win the division 9 straight years? Good for fucking you. Who cares how you win it? You want to win it with doinked field goals and blocked field goals or whatever? Cool. But yeah, I'm very excited. I can't believe it's already week 15. We said this every single week going back. If you were to listen to some of our podcasts in week 3, it's like, oh my God, this season's so long. And now here we are. It's going to be over in 2 seconds. So I'm
the season has literally marched across my face. Like, it really has.
What do you mean?
I'm just so tired. I just look so tired. I looked at myself today in the mirror at Pilates and I went, whoa, hello. I need a good night's sleep. We talked about this in a pregame show. 'Tis the season. It's December 9th as we're taping this right now. I have so much to do as we get set for Christmas. I was so excited to sleep in my own bed last night, not have to get on a plane. I might as well have gotten on a 6 a.m. flight. That's how much sleep I got. I just woke up at random times like, shit, did I get this person something? Did I do this? I need to tie this in. I need to finish this up. It was like, girl, rest your brain. Enough.
Yeah, you do need to do that. But I feel the same way. I was saying on our pregame that I felt like I had a great jump start to Christmas. I was on it. I was ordering things early. I was getting stuff. Now I'm waiting for all of these things to get here. And I'm tracking every single day because I can't send the packages out. But here's my thing. And I would love the viewers and the listeners' input on this, where it's like, I think in my head, I have a good list of people that I know I need to get stuff for, right? Just based off of like, the friend group, the work group, whatever.
Sure.
But there's always those randoms that you don't think are going to come in with a gift. And then all of a sudden you're standing there and they're like, hand over the gift. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, yours is in the car. Or yeah, I'll go run and grab that later. Or yours is at home. Oh my God, I'll get. No, it's not at home and it's not in the car because I didn't get you a gift because I didn't think we did gifts. But now you're a new one.
We're doing gifts.
We're doing gifts. And so Steve gets mad at me. He's like, you're always buying gifts for people that you don't even know are going to buy gifts for you. I'm like, because I'm so paranoid that if I don't have the gift, then I'll feel terrible. So I would rather have a bunch of auxiliary
Seinfeld
gifts.
Episode.
For sure. I would rather have a bunch of auxiliary gifts and some last second cards where I can quickly write, because there's nothing worse than standing there and being like, oh, I didn't get you anything. Terrible. So that's where I'm at right now. Shopping for auxiliary gifts.
additional pressure to put on yourself as well. Like,
Well, I'll tell
that's
you.
crazy.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I don't want that to get into my headspace for tonight. Oh God.
Just grab like 5 or 6 extra little bags of like goodies or something. Hey,
what's a bag of goodies? What's a bag of
like
goodies?
a lip gloss. Like think of, you got to have auxiliary for guys and for gals. Okay, you got to have the wine.
Oh my God,
this
is crazy extra pressure, Charissa.
You got to do it. Okay, well then look, I'll buy some.
What
for
are you
you
putting these in?
Like a little gift bag. And then just have a backup card already in there because, by the way, people are on to you if you don't have the card filled out and you just hand them over the gift and there's no card. They're like, oh, I'm an auxiliary gift person. You don't care about me enough to have a card. But if you have the card in there, you've bought yourself some time and another friendship. I also have wine.
Friendship.
Always have the backup wine.
Yeah. That's good. That's
easy
good. That's
one.
good. What's your price range and what backup wine do you have?
You got to go 35 to 65 on the auxiliary gift.
Oh my God. I now have more anxiety.
No, I didn't mean to add this to your list, but you're going to have more anxiety if somebody hands over a gift and you don't have one for them.
Plus, I got to have some card waiting.
Yeah, you always have to have the card in there.
What's your excuse? You're like, hey, 1 second, let me run upstairs.
That's exactly what I do.
What about if the ink still is like wet?
Well, that's okay.
What are you using, a pencil?
No one's doing that. How about when the you're recycling the gift bag and your name, it was like to Charissa, love mom. And it was like, shit, I forgot to pull that off.
And then you pulled like part of the bag off and then there's like a hole or part of it missing. Yeah, it's a thing.
That's why you got to be prepared.
Goo be gone or something.
But I'll tell you who's not prepared. And this is where I said to him, I was like, men don't think about this stuff. Men don't think about, hey, you know what? The dog walker needs a gift because she takes our dogs out every single day.
This is why I'm not sleeping.
We have the luxury of having a house cleaner. The house cleaner needs a gift. And men are like, well, we pay them. We don't have to buy them a gift. We pay them. And I'm like, I don't care. Guess what? I get paid from my employer, but sometimes they also give us a gift. So you can't apply that principle at all.
Yes.
Okay. So men don't think about it. Steve hasn't done one fucking gift shop. You think he's stressed out? He's not losing any sleep at night.
Oh, Jared's not losing any sleep. In fact, he's still snoring away and I'm losing all the sleep. You want to know what I did last night?
What?
Picked up the phone, turned the baby monitor on louder because Mac has a sound machine in his room, so we hear it. Yeah. Turned it up where it's basically like, like
the waves are crashing into the house.
Slammed the fucking phone down. And the next morning, he's like, "Babe, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Did he always have
sorry.
a snoring issue? I feel like
he has, but it's gotten worse. We did go get looked at. They did say, you have a couple cracks in your nose. You have a deviated septum. You definitely broke your nose a couple of times. We should get this fixed." And this sweet guy, last night we're going to bed and I'm so tired. And he's like, "Hey, just a heads up. I did book an appointment for surgery on my nose." And I said, whoa, like we're not doing appointments.
That's not a dentist appointment. I booked surgery.
Exactly. I was like, am I home? Will I be able to pick you up? We need to find out more information about this surgery. What's the recovery time? But he is so frightened about me killing him in the middle of the night. I would be
worried about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been going on for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's time. I do appreciate it. Have we thought about like maybe a sleep apnea machine or something?
Oh, we failed the test. We have a deviated septum. Can I say septum one more time?
Septic tank. Because he's,
so apparently, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And so is my attitude.
It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to have that. We'll get through it.
So everybody is like, did you love a home game? Loved it. So great.
We can get through it together. Don't worry about it. I just need you to be able to get some sleep. That's the thing I told you about. And I don't know if anybody else of their significant other snores. Steve used to. We've talked about it before. He has this tape that he puts over his mouth. It's called hostage tape, which is an insane title. He looks insane, but guess what? He does not wake me up in the middle of the night anymore. So
come 3 or 4 a.m., the hostage tape is coming off. Like, we're a loud breather, man. And he's like, in the morning, he's like, I'm sorry, it fell off.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we got to double up on the old the tape. I don't know what to tell you.
What?
By the way, go grab some duct tape.
Staple gun.
So we need to get my gal some sleep immediately. All right. But other than that, you are headed to Philadelphia this week for I'm really, really excited for your game. You've got the Eagles and the Steelers. And good for Russell Wilson, man. There was not a time long ago where it was like, oh, God, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. And he has this team playing exceptional. So good for you. young man.
And the guy who made that decision, Mike Tomlin, I get
Hot.
to do a sit down with him. And
You do?
I am so excited.
Woo! By the way, those glasses, those aviator
Great.
glasses, that guy, and when he, I don't know if you
His
guys heard.
swag is so sick.
So great. That's very exciting. I love that for you. And the Eagles playing great football. Steelers playing great football. This is a great week 15 matchup, sister.
And I'm excited for your game too. Look, I know that San Francisco has their injuries. Holy crap. I just saw their third string running back is now like banged up as well. But listen,
They've dealt with them
Kyle
all year.
Shanahan gets his guys to play. It's a big rivalry between those two. It's all on the line for the Rams. So I think it's going to be fun. And I got to tell you, SoFi Stadium, that's our place. The tunes, the jams, they love the Calm Down podcast. Or not SoFi, excuse me. You
Levi.
are going to Levi's. Levi's
Yep.
Stadium, they love Calm Down podcast there. They play our clip all the time over the loudspeaker.
Stop.
That play, yes.
They do not.
Yes. Yeah, where I'm
What?
like the tunes, the jams, Levi
Cute.
Stadium. The in-game experience at Levi is so much fun. And like I said, their DJ is freaking awesome. You're going to be jamming out. Bump, bump, bump.
Great.
Get it. Yeah, it's
I'll
great.
tell you what I love. I love a West Coast game. We had a lot of East Coast games this year. So we're back-to-back West Coast, which is great. It's week week 15. Every game matters. You know what else matters? Because I know that the Calm Down community all has an affinity for Miss Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I need to take a moment of silence for our girl, the end of the Eras Tour, 2 years, $2 billion. But most importantly, the news that came out today, which is why she is one of one, is giving out over 175 million or whatever the final number was of additional bonuses to her crew. Of course, she made headlines when she donates food at the local food banks. It's just, she continues to impress me. Just when you think she can't get more impressive in who she is as a, performer, but also as a person, giving out additional bonuses for her crew. I just take a lesson, everybody out there. I don't care if you have $5 to give people that help you or 50 million. It's like, just take care of the people around you. And I love her for that. And kudos to her because, we talk all the time about, jobs are demanding and you're traveling and you're this and that. I remember when we went to the one in June, and then thinking about her performing night after night, like we were tired after one night and we weren't performing.
No.
So what she's done for 2 years is incredible. And the fact that she got on a plane after performing in Tokyo, flew all the way to Las Vegas for her boyfriend's game in the Super Bowl. Like, I just love her. She's just great. And bravo, sister, on a job well done on the Eras Tour.
I have, my sister is a dancer. My sister did some professional dancing and we know a lot of people in the industry. And one thing I've kind of always learned through my sister is when artists take care of their dancers and they have such a great relationship with their dancers, that's really cool. My sister always kind of tells me stories about who's great. Like, Ken told me when the Celine Dion traveling tour, not her residency, but the tour, her dancers were obsessed with her and she always took care of her dancers. And I think that's so cool when people are tight with them. You could tell from the clips last night, like as they were all walking off and hugging her. I mean, my sister was like, oh my God, this breaks me up because like you can just tell she loves them so much. That's a lot of time with those people. They're away from their family, but they're also living their dream because of her. It was really cool. I love seeing all that last night of them just hugging her and thanking her. It was really, really special. She's amazing. I hope she gets the time off that she deserves. She enjoys the rest of the football season with her man. I was kind of waiting to see if there was footage. I was trying to do the math. Okay, can he get on a plane from Kansas City and go meet her out like at her celebration? But I know that that's a long flight and obviously he just played an amazing game himself. But yeah, go enjoy your man, girl. Go enjoy the rest of this amazing football season. And if you ever want to get a drink or hang out, we know two good hangs. I promise to be super normal.
She will. She'll be on her best. Actually, you know where we're not going to be going? We're not going to be going to karaoke. But you, my dear, have put it out there in the universe
yeah.
that you are great at
yeah.
karaoke, and it has been brought to my attention by some members on your crew that you are not just thinking you're good because of a few cocktails. Kevin Burkhart, Grossi, Casey, and Jason, Bob, aka Bob, have taken it to the streets. And in fact, I believe that we have one of those members joining us here on the podcast today.
Yeah, very excited about it. Jason Thornberry, our statistician on our NFL on Fox crew. He's been with the company, what do you say, for about 20 years. So that's super exciting. We'll give you guys a little bit of a look of what his job is like. I'm watching a shot of Micah Parsons rolling in right now to AT&T Stadium. I think that's a white tuxedo. God, he's great. I like Micah. A lot of people I know have thoughts about him, and they have the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders starting up. I love them. I know a lot of people, like, Micah's even said, I've heard a lot of people say some things, but I love a guy that speaks his mind. It's great. I enjoy him.
I like authenticity. I like people who don't apologize for who they are, and that's whether that you like them or not. I like consistency. I like people that just, like what you see is what you're going to get. This is not the segue into the story, but today, because I'm very decisive in my life. Like today, or when I was shopping, when I'm in, I know exactly what. The sales associate was like, "Wow, you know exactly what you want." And I'm like, "Sure do. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. I'm a person who has purchased homes and never even went and looked at them. I got an inspection. I saw them online and whatever. I purchase cars. I don't even go and test drive it. I just know what I want. We all know what I've done in marriages, so it doesn't always work out, but I am very decisive." Today, I was sitting there getting something quickly to eat before we jumped on here, and I was at a restaurant, and I was like, I got 20 minutes. We got to get the order in. We got to pay. We got to eat. We're in, we're out. So the woman, she drops off the menu. I go, "Oh, you don't even need to go anywhere." I was like, I'm going this. She's like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I'm waiting for the food, and there's these gals that sit down next to me. Nice enough group. There's like 3 or 4 of them. From the time that I put my order in to the time that I left, it was probably maybe 22 minutes if I was to clock this thing. 22 minutes. And this group next to me couldn't even figure out their order. They were going back and forth. And, well, do I want this? Do I want that? Looking at the menu. Well, what are you going to get? What are you going to get? By the time I left, I wanted to be like, "Look, bitch, you're going to have that. You're going to have that. You're going to have that. You're going to have that." It is wild to me. You are going to waste 22 minutes of your life deciding what you're going to order to eat. Like, let's go. Don't you have things to do? Or
but
don't
there
you
are times that I feel like we've been out and we've been talking so much. They're like, have you had time to look at the menu? Not yet.
That's different. That is different. That's because like we're talking, we're catching up. So we haven't even looked at the menu. Babe, this was 22 minutes of looking at the menu. Okay? We're flipping it. We're going back and forth. The waitress, this poor waitress, brought over 3 times answering questions. Does this have chicken in it? Is this vegan? I'm like, oh my God. This poor waitress has already earned her money and she hasn't even taken their order yet. But I just was sitting there and I was like, I can't imagine being that indecisive in my life. Imagine their husbands. He's like, Jesus, what are we gonna do? Let's get on with it. And maybe that works for some people. And maybe some people think about me and they're like, okay, just relax, lady, take a beat. But I can't imagine. We're moving, we're shaking, we're doing things. 22 minutes of what you're going to order. This is not a decision on what you're going to name your child. This is lunch.
Yeah. These are, I'm trying to think of a catchy thing to call these, like calm down, like observations or something. That's what you saw in the streets today. I'm going to tell you what I saw in the streets today. Container store. Lady wants to return something. The woman, and I'm holding like 7 things, I'm like, I'm balancing. I'm like, ask.
Because you haven't got the cart because you thought you were just coming in for one item. You end up picking up more. Things are falling.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I got 10 seconds to get in and out, make Pilates. This woman, the woman at the register goes, "Okay, so you want credit? What do you want for this?" She's like, "I'd like credit for this." She goes, "Yeah, you bought this in June. I could give you store credit." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll take that." So the lady goes, "Can I get your license, please?" And she goes, "Why?" And she goes, "Because the store credit." Like at this point, just do what she says. Like I'm holding 7 things. She's like, "Well, I don't want to give it to you." And then the lady's like, "Then I can't give you the store credit. It's supposed to be under your name. I don't know. Like we're only keeping the information here. What do you want?" Like, a stowaway? You're not supposed to be here? Like, why can't you give your license information?
I'm with the woman though on the license.
Well, then don't bring your shit back from June. And that's what the cashier said.
I wouldn't.
Well,
of
course you wouldn't.
My shit's in the back. I don't even know where it went. It probably didn't make it out of the car.
So the lady goes, I shouldn't even be giving you credit anyways, but I'm doing this. So then she's like, fine. She goes through all this. The lady gets the credit and she doesn't even say thank you. So then I'm next. And the lady's like, have a nice day. I walk up and I go, on behalf of her, I'll say thank you. And she goes, this is how I look at it. That was 5 minutes of my time. I don't have to go home to her. That was
I like
great.
Her. I like
good.
her. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I'm not into. You don't have to be rude to the person, but I'm also not. These stores getting real cocky with this information. You know how I feel about the email. Enough with the email, the phone number, the freaking social security number, the driver's license. It's the container store. We're not stealing plastic containers. Okay, the bins do not need my driver's license.
You're not fingerprinting me.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but whatever. I also understand. It's like, well, this is the policy. Okay, well, the policy needs to change, but I'm with you. Like, look,
who wrote this?
You don't want to give over the license, and you're not going to get the credit. This is very simple. This is the way we do things. You either do them this way or you keep it moving. But I just left there and I was like, oh my God, these women, good for you if you have that much time on your hands. And that's not to say like, oh, I'm so busy. It's just more of like that much time going over a menu.
Big menu?
Look, I've worked at the Cheesecake Factory. You can only imagine how I expedited some of those people. When they're going there with that book and they're on page 14, I was like, look, I got to turn tables. I got to make money. You want me to help you here? What are you looking for? You looking for chicken? You looking for seafood? You looking for steak? You want a salad? Salad's page 4. Let's rip it. I can't have you as a 2 top or taking up, actually, the 8 top, taking up 45 minutes of my section. Yep. No, you got to turn and burn.
Speaking of the order at Cheesecake, I'd always go for the marsala, and that would rip me
Guess
up.
What?
It was so good. The bow tie pasta, so buttery.
They took the marsala off the menu?
Well, yeah, because it was probably ripping people up.
Stop saying ripping people up.
That's true. I should.
Can you believe that? And what is that? With the most popular items get taken off. It's like my favorite lip liner from MAC or whatever it is, at the time where it's like, oh, we've discontinued that. My favorite bronzer. Chanel has this bronzer, which I pay way too much goddamn money for.
The cream?
I swear. No, not the cream. It's the powder. I can't always be with the cream. I get it's a more dewy look, but sometimes I need a matte. I don't want to be glowing in the dark. Sure. Okay? Mm-hmm. Bring it down. It's like, is she sweating? No, that's just
she not?
Is she not? And they got rid of, and it was the nice big mirror. Because sometimes when you're in those small compacts, I can't really see what's going on. Then you get into a full length mirror and you're like, God damn, like, can we blend the neck? So that big mirror really gave me the real estate that I needed to see a full frontal. Discontinued it. What is with discontinuing the best items? They're the best items. Keep them moving. Hey guys.
I had that with my eyeliner. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it.
What eyeliner?
It was Chanel too. They discontinued it.
I don't understand. Can somebody from corporate America weigh in here? Why are we discontinuing the best items?
Not sure.
Hey, you have a child. You have to fly on an airplane with your child. I sent you and our wonderful producers, Ryan and Kurt, this story today. There was, and I really hope this is, here's the problem with AI and all this other stuff. I really want this story to be true. I mean, it shows a picture of the little cute note. Here's the deal. A mom is on a plane, a 10-hour flight from Seoul, Korea to San Francisco. A mother handed out more than 200 goodie bags with candy, earplugs, in case her 4-month-old child cried during the flight, and even included a note that said, hello, I'm Junwoo and I'm 4 months old. She's writing it like she's the baby. Today I'm going to the U.S. with my mom and my grandma to see my aunt. I'm a little nervous and scared because it's my first flight in life, which means I may cry or make too much noise. I will try to go quietly, though I can't make any promises. Please excuse me. So my mom prepared little goodie bags for you. It has some candies and earplugs. Please use it when it's too noisy because of me. Enjoy your trip.
That's so nice.
I can't even handle that. Like, that is the sweetest. Talk about me thinking I'm getting cocky with my auxiliary gifts back here. 200 gift bags of
Imagine
earplugs,
her
candies.
Anxiety when she was getting ready for this trip, and now I got to make candy bags. And how many seats are there?
The sweetest thing I ever did see. And by the way, like a 10-hour flight with a baby, and to think like how she can, when a natural thing for a baby is to cry, she's thinking about other people's reaction. I'll tell you what, I really hope on that flight, no one gave her one look, one whatever. And I hope that everyone was nice to her, because that is just So sweet. I can't take it.
It's so sweet. It's so thoughtful. It's also, we thought Dan Campbell really, went for it. She really went for it with that 10-hour flight. Wow.
This is going for it on
I can't even think
inches.
of an hour flight with my 18-month-old. A 10-hour flight with a 4-month-old? You go, girl. I see how you roll.
Good for you. Oh,
wow.
my God.
Wow.
Speaking of children, you take Mac to a little gym. You sent Steve and I a video the other day. You would think that Steve's the father because he was so concerned about Mac's head in the video when he's rolling over.
The backflip?
Everything is safe. Everything is monitored. And Steve goes, I don't know if he should be doing that. I go, well, his parents sent us the video and they're fine with it.
So one thing I'm so thankful for with our childcare is that they are doers. He is not sitting around in a little squared off area. They are out. Mac is busy. People want to come see him. He doesn't have time.
No.
He's out. He's socializing. He's doing a lot of adventures, which is what one of our nannies says, which is so freaking nice. So one of the adventures I was home for because we had a home game this week and I decided I want to go. I want to go with Mackie to this gym, be a part of it, see how it goes. Well, it was so nerve-wracking and so stressful. There weren't a lot of children in the class. I don't know where all the children were, but they weren't there. And it was me and another mom and a little girl. And so, yeah, Max, I wouldn't say his, it's like me right now. His patience, his attention. Woo! Attention, ladies and gentlemen. His attention wasn't all there. And it was really highly skilled stuff. We're going to go up and over here and then up on top of here and then jump here and then leap here. And I'm like, what happens after we get off the thing? And then Matt doesn't want to do it. He's off over here. So I'm like, trying not to be the nagging mom where I'm like, no, this way. But it's like, we got to follow. And then, the instructor's over with this kid. So I'm like, am I supposed to go on this trampoline? Anyways, Jarrett would have hated it. It's so stressful. I'm trying to get the kid. All the kid wants to do is go over on the mat and run. So I was like, you know what? There's nobody here in this gym. I'm just going to go with my kid onto this mat because he doesn't want to come over here and he's going to start screaming. So we start running around the mat. He's screaming and so much fun. I start screaming and so much fun. He picks up a scarf and throws it in the air. I pick up a scarf and throw it in the air. I'm like, this is great. We got reprimanded.
Oh, no. You're not allowed to take creative liberties in the class?
And I understand where they're coming from. We got told you need to stay with your group. I understand they're probably concerned if we fell, then it could be.
Wait, time out. You got to go back to the specifics. What did she say? Ma'am, Erin?
Excuse me, ma'am, you have to stay with your group.
No.
My group was right there.
What did you do when she said that?
I couldn't apologize enough. In fact, after I apologized 20 times, it went back over and said, listen, I'm not a rule breaker at all. But I kind of figured he needed to blow off some steam here and he wasn't really following the direction. So it's fine.
That's on me.
It's fine. I felt terrible. God. I looked at our nanny and I was like, I'm never going there again. I can't ever go. I can't ever show face there again. My armpits were sweating. It was such an ordeal. I made it worse than I needed to. But anyways, it was so stressful. And my kid didn't want to do all this shit. He just wanted to run. And I was so excited because I was running after him. And
you're paying to get reprimanded. You're getting into your public class. I know. But you know what? You did the right thing. Okay. And look, you apologized to the person. Your kid had fun. Everyone wins. Jarrett would have been mortified.
Matt, we have to get out of here. We have to get out of here.
Right.
I'm driving away like this. My nanny was like, how great is that place? I'm like, I can never go back.
Look for another one.
You would have thought I knocked something over. It broke. It spilled. No, we just were on the floor routine, putting on a floor routine. And we were told to go back with our group.
Score 10 for you. You're a great mom. Look at you. You knew what your child needed in that moment.
Places are stressful.
So is Christmas shopping. So is all of it. But you know what? We have each other. We got this. I need you to get a good night's sleep because then you'll feel better. Go in the other room. You're fine. And I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Calm Down podcast. In a moment, though, we're not done because we teased it. The big moment where we find out, is Erin a good karaoke singer or not?
Hey, before we do that, sorry to break this up. I do want to give a shout out to my Cause My Cleats.
Yep.
I did one. We introduced you guys. It was actually when we were at Top Golf doing our show there. My girlfriend Jackie brought my attention to this. Jackie Quick, of a little girl who's actually she just turned 11, named Claire. She is a sideline reporter for Pee Wee football. She has been through it, literally a poster child for Boston Children's Hospital, and I had the opportunity to kind of honor her with my Cause My Cleats. They are up for auction. The money goes to Boston Children's Hospital.
Oh, sweet.
And they have done an amazing job with Claire. She has an uphill battle coming her way, I think, next week. And I know she's going to kick the tail out of it. And I know her parents have been through it. So you guys check out my cleats on my IG page. Also, there's a link, like I said, in my bio if you want to bid on them. She is such a little cutie pie. I know her mom sent me a picture of her watching our game yesterday, and I love that the NFL lets guys do that.
Absolutely.
It's so sweet to see what their causes are.
It is. Claire, we love you. We are rooting for you always. And make sure you guys check out, like Erin said, her page. And Claire, thinking of you in the next week. You got this, girl. You got it, babe.
So I am so excited to I have multiple work husbands, as you do, Charissa. This is one of them. Kevin Burkhardt, self-proclaimed work husband. Jason Thornberry from the NFL on Fox A Crew, statistician. How many years have you held that job, my friend?
With the A Crew? I think this is my fifth year. Okay. But I've been at Fox for 20 years now, 21, something like that.
Wow. Yes. Who'd you start with?
Well, my very, very first thing was doing just scoring baseball games on the studio show. So they'd have guys come in, keep score, so everybody knew what was going on. And that's what I did. My friend Brian Biederman said, "Hey, you want to come in on a Saturday and score some games?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's now a big director at Fox. Woo-hoo. He doesn't call me back. But then one thing led to another, and here I am today getting to work with fabulous Erin and Charissa.
Oh, my gosh. I love that.
Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Tom Rinaldi, to name a few. Yeah, they're good. So last week on our podcast, have you guys met before?
Yes.
Yeah. We've met.
Yeah. We in passing. I don't get the privilege of being on the road with you guys, which I wish in an alternate universe we could like all be together. We had the preseason game, which was fun, but still not enough time. But yeah, Erin, of course, loves you guys so much, and I'm so glad she has all of you.
Yeah. And so last week, I was telling Charissa all about our experience in the karaoke. I was going to say karaoke room, but really it was our meeting room at our hotel. We, after our Thanksgiving dinner, decided let's bust out the karaoke machine. I was a little timid to start it. Jason, who we all lovingly call Thorn on our crew, went right after it. He was the master of ceremonies. Then I started feeling comfortable, feeling really comfortable with myself. Felt like I was doing the backup singing, backup dancing, sometimes doing it on my own. In our conversation in our podcast last week, Charissa said, she laughed at me and said, I don't know if I believe you that. Okay, go ahead. Explain yourself.
I was surprised, Jason, that she said that she was a good singer. Erin and I have been friends for 15, 20 years, and I didn't know this about her. So I simply said, who else thinks you're a good singer? And she said, I will get some guys from the crew to corroborate this, self-proclaimed I'm a great singer situation. So Here you are. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't, a few glasses of wine that made her believe and have false confidence, because look, no one is a bigger fan of a karaoke night than I am. So what was her strength?
Well, her strength was the dancing. I'll say that.
Oh,
like if you're doing karaoke, you're going to need a dancer. You got to call Erin Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, she never stopped. It was nonstop. It was like, regular dancing, but then she throws some drill team cheerleading moves into it, like stuff like that.
Dazzler days. Yeah.
Sure.
And then a random leg kick here and there. It was great.
That's when I peed myself, actually. Yeah.
There was one part where I think her family called, her husband called, and she took it out in in the hallway, but then she heard a song. She came running back in, dancing. So I would say her strength is dancing, but the singing part of it, she was a little timid on the singing. And she would like bring me up there to do Tracy Chapman with her. And then I was like, you're good. You can do this. You got it. And then she would belt out the tune. And then we did, I think we did Madonna together. What was that one?
We closed the night with Like a Prayer. Yep.
Right.
I thought that was a great way to send everyone home.
I kind of started it, but then I handed it off to her and she belted out the tunes. She did a few others too. She was good. No one's good at karaoke, first of all.
Oh.
And I'm just saying, like, the bar isn't exactly, I'm not trying out for Broadway here. Okay. Oh. But I like to go out, have a good time and sing a few, television hits of the 70s and 80s and throw in a few more stuff and call it a night. But she was good. She was good.
Thorn, I'm missing the whole intro to how you began karaoke that night. I had told you after many cocktails that I really, really, really badly want to do Saturday Night Live. You had said, if you do it, would you please think about doing this as a skit? Hit it.
Well, I've always had the idea that if I was ever on Saturday Night Live, I would sing television theme songs from the 70s and 80s as like a lounge singer, with a cigarette dangling out of my mouth. And then it dawned on me. I'm sitting there in this room. We got a microphone. We got an amplifier. So I just went, no one's singing. So I went up, I grabbed it, flipped it on and started belting out the, now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. So I started belting those out, and then that got everybody into it. And then all of a sudden, we were doing karaoke all night long. It was great.
Amazing. Mine would be the Full House theme song, I think. Ah,
that's a good one.
Everywhere we go, everywhere there's a place of some. Oh, I can only be 70s and 80s? Oof, this is very specific.
My range is, the Jeffersons and Facts of Life, things like that.
It brings great joy to me to know that Erin, amongst her many skills, can now add in her arsenal karaoke singer, and not only cooperated by you, but also by Grossi, by Casey, and by Kevin Burkhardt. So I stand corrected. Erin, you have a wonderful voice, and I cannot wait to get on the mic with you. Our next time that we have an opportunity will be probably the Super Bowl. So watch out, New Orleans.
That'll be great. Hey,
she just needs a little more confidence. That's all. Just a little more confidence.
I need that.
I have a lot of false confidence, so I'm happy to give her some.
Thorn, give all our listeners who are massive football fans, a lot of them are, just a peek into your week, how you are preparing for our massive Steelers-Eagles showdown this weekend.
Big showdown. How do I prepare? Well, on Mondays, I usually watch our game that we just did. Yep. And then I watch the games of the two teams we have and make some notes. And then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I start making my notes for Matt Gale, our broadcast associate. He and I kind of the whole graphics team, make these graphics for the games, pop them on air, and everybody says, wow, that's a good note. So during the week, you got to prepare and get ready for it. So I send them a bunch of notes during the week, and we pre-build a bunch of graphics. And then hopefully during the game, we get some of those on. Then we react to the game during the game and make graphics on the fly. But that's generally it. So by Thursday, I've sent them my notes. Friday, fly out to our game. Saturday night, hopefully I'm doing karaoke.
We'll be in Philly. We'll be at that great restaurant, probably with our top button on our pants undone, but that's because of the food so great, not because of any other reason. So don't get crazy. Wait, Thorn, what was your favorite stat or graphic that was on television yesterday from our amazing Bills Rams game? Did you have one that you were like, because you're in the truck and you are feeding things to who? Either our producer, director, or are you feeding things to Kevin and Tom? Sometimes I'm texting you.
Yeah, well, I usually come up with something, or one of the guys in the truck, Elvis, the Fox Box operator, he's part of it too. Mike Eldridge, shout out to Knuckleheads in Michigan City, Indiana, his bar.
There you go.
And then Jack Siccato, he's there too, doing stats on the stats computer. So we're all kind of, thinking of the same things. And I guess the I don't know if there's a best one, but the one that sticks out was Josh Allen. He had 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. And he was the first guy in NFL history to do that in the regular season. But I wish we didn't have time. You have to be very quick. right? So I would like to have put that Otto Graham did it in the playoffs.
Whoa.
But if you look at the note on the screen, it said regular season on the top. That's because it was actually done once in the postseason by Otto Graham way back when in like 1954 or something. That would have been cool to have on there, but you have to be very quick. And so we didn't have really, I was like, just put it up there like that. It was fine. It was accurate. It was a great note. And our producer, Richie Zion Z, liked it, put it in, and away we go.
It was awesome.
As you know, Erin and I get very excited for stats. Like we're such like in the best way. Like we just like love a good stat. The fact that the Rams haven't beat the Bills at home since 1983, that was a stat that stood out to me. Yeah. I was like, I was born in 82. I'm old as shit. Like this has been a long time since the Rams have beaten the Bills at home.
They don't play that often. So, but it's only been five games, but still 1983. So that was one of our walk-off notes we had if the Rams won, but we had another one too, and there's not a lot of time and it didn't get on. But
what was the other one?
It was the one that got on that I forget that was the first time all year they've had a winning record. The Rams. They started off slow. They've chipped away. Now they have a winning record, so they're happy about that.
And last one, because Josh Allen, the fact that he did all that in a losing effort just tells you how crazy that game was. But didn't the week before that, he had, for the first time ever, a receiving, a rushing, and a passing touchdown? Yep. Like this dude.
So like back-to-back weeks, he's done things that are unheard of, basically.
Yeah.
And the other amazing thing about that game was that you had all these points scored, but there wasn't one turnover or one sack.
Right.
It's amazing.
So
there
wild.
Was a pump block, obviously, return for a touchdown, but it wasn't one turnover or one sack. So crazy game.
Okay, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, since I have you on here. I know you're a massive Seahawks fan, right? Ish. Oh, there we go. Okay, the look was to grab the mug. There we go. So I've got the Niners and the Rams for my Thursday night matchup this week, and we were on a call this morning talking about the NFC West race, and Sherm was, saying that he thinks that Seattle will pull it out, whatever. Give all of the Seahawks fans a reason to believe that they will win the West, given how tight it is.
The reason to believe is their defense has gotten massively better since they cashed out the two. I don't want to rip anybody on your podcast, but they started the year with two linebackers who are no longer with the team, and they brought in Ernest Jones. They're starting this rookie in the middle, and they've been awesome since then. And I don't have the stat on top of my fingers, but they haven't allowed too many points since then. They had the big game against the Bills that we did, and they got killed. But that was still with like one of the bad linebackers who's no longer with the team. But that move, and it's a massive move in the middle of the season to cash out your middle linebackers and say, we're going to throw caution to the wind. But the defense was not good. And Mike McDonald, he's known for defense, and he's the guy, and his schemes he's come up with have actually been pretty amazing in sometimes. A couple games ago when Leonard Williams had the pick six, that was all scheme. I won't go into it because it's the Calm Down podcast. We don't want to get you calmed up, but it was all scheme. And then the guy took it to the house, and to watch a 300-pound man run that fast that's remarkable too. Anyway, the point is, Seahawks fans should be encouraged because the offense still hasn't hit its stride, I don't think. Mm-hmm. And Kenneth Walker's been a little banged up.
Yeah, they were without him yesterday.
And the offense hits its stride. The defense is good now. And they're as good as anybody in the division. 49ers have fallen off. Rams are coming along. They're kind of
coming on.
Scary. That's going to be a massive game.
Yeah, at the end of the year.
But I think the Seahawks can not just make the playoffs, but do something in the playoffs. We'll see.
All right, there we go.
Do you have a little nugget for us for our game on Sunday in Philadelphia? Anything to just really get us going?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a little nugget.
Here we come, Daddy.
I've just started delving into this, so this isn't earth-shattering, but the Eagles got a 9-game winning streak going, and during that time, Jalen Hurts has 23 touchdowns, passing and rushing, and only 2 turnovers. So the guy, maybe their pass offense isn't lighting the world on fire, but they're still getting it done. 23-2 is pretty darn good. But the interesting matchup in the game is that in that span since I think it's week 6, the Steelers have 20 takeaways, their defense, which is the second most in the league. And the Eagles have 3 turnovers. So
something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
I'm all horned up over here. That's amazing.
I don't know if it's amazing. It's pretty.
Well, I don't know. What about Chris's game on Thursday? What do you have for us?
49ers Rams. Matthew Stafford. Since he's gotten his receivers back, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua, he has 16 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in that time. They're 5-2, and they're rolling. Like we saw yesterday.
Dude,
they're rolling.
That catch that Puka had on the sideline was insane. To have he's
Steve
calling
Largent.
now. It was number 80 in your program, number 1 in your hearts,
That's right, baby.
And a congressman. He's there for the
That's
people. Right. But that was a ridiculous catch. So good. Yeah. And is there like a happier person in life than Puka Nakua? I mean, this guy is just always smiling.
The soccer show, Football is Life.
Ted Lasso.
So good.
Yeah. He's awesome.
And so are you, Thorne. We love you so much.
Yeah. I just bask in the glow of EA and try to gravy train off that as long as I can.
Oh, please.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was fun. I mean, if you want to make it a weekly segment, I wouldn't say no to it, but
look,
I'll have to clear my calendar. I don't know. All right,
we'll have to get it sponsored by beef or something. My man can take down a steak like nobody's business.
And we can talk about that.
Michaels would love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Love you.
Good times. Thanks, EA.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.